My KVK is pretty much over, way before Kingsland even started. And that means my experiments with Arslan and like organic open field reports are kind of at an end. And so far, I'm really not impressed with Arslan. Like to put him as a like a banda breaking, to put him in the same category as Qin and Sun Tzu, was honestly insulting. I don't think that he's far from that. He's like a Shajar type of commander. Like that's the best thing I can say for him. Because granted, this is the pairing that I've been running with. So this is the second Archer March. Doesn't have like the greatest gear or armaments. Granted, but it is still good enough to generate better reports than my previous pairing, which is Zug Philip. And it wasn't really better. I honestly think keeping Zuge Philip, if you run it, maybe even Herman Zuge, I don't know, I haven't tried Herman Zuge here in a while, but I feel like that if you want to buff your marches, I think that's just better. And that's saying something because Philip doesn't do any damage. Like, where is Philip? Philip doesn't do any damage. He just buffs the damage. He does a little bit of damage, but you're not expecting to get like crazy trades with this particular march. And I run in primary with Scipio. I run in primary with, I think I tried Herman, but when I used in primary, he was getting targeted like crazy. Maybe people just like to target archers, but even when he gets targeted, he gets swarmed down. He's not QSH, he's not Sun Tzu, because even when they're being swarmed down, they're still able to generate a decent report. You know, sometimes even trade positive when being swarmed, and you're just thinking like, how did they do it? Meanwhile, Alp just gets crushed. He gets treated like a support march type of trade. So, not impressed at all. But I've been running with a permanent primary for the most part. This is a talent tree. And what I noticed about this march is it's so fast. So fast. It's faster than my calorie. And by the way, this could do with the way my tech is going. So I went full in archers from the start. So I had all the march speed and everything related to archers as much as I could. So for me, these are like the ideal conditions. Plus, I have Archer Zenith, which is 20% attack, which should be an advantage over people who don't have extra stats. I'm VIP 18 as well here, so I got the March speed, I got the true capacity, I got all damage from the previous VIP level. So in theory, this March should do a lot better than it does. And you'll notice I don't have any reports. Well, he didn't really generate many memorable reports. He was trading quite mid. The only report that I have is right here, and it's an artifact pair that I tried in Altar, and this was the only report I could generate because they were just ran away from me. And this was the first pairing that I used. I thought to myself, okay, this maybe has some promise. But then I tried it on the past 7 and it just didn't deliver. And quickly I switched to Herman because at least Herman gives me some stacks of skill damage, so my QSH performs better. And QSH did perform a little bit better, but it's not justified to work on him because of it, because I think Zug Philip did the same, maybe even better. And that is disappointing for a new gen commander to be outperformed by a leadership commander or commanders that are quite old. And it's not a good sign. So for me, he's like a male Shajar counterpart, where he's kind of good, but he's not kind of, he's kind of bad. He has some utility with the piercing and stuff, but if you're looking to make him as like a support march, I would say if you have Philip, I would stick with Philip. But there's one thing I didn't really test, and that is using him with a commander that doesn't do march speed. So someone like Zuge or someone like YG. So he might perform better in terms of trades because he doesn't have as much march speed, because here he has 25% and Herman has like 15 or 20. 15. Plus the support tree has multiple of these. Yeah, he has one here. I think it has one more here, but you get the point. You see the march speed right here. 9% we got from the talent tree. So this march is very fast and it gets out of position. So it gets kind of treated like a calorie march, and it's, you would think it would trade a bit better because it kind of is supposed to be a little bit tanky, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't. And as always, always take these recommendations with a grain of salt, even for me, because people hype these commanders too much. They test them in an ideal environment where they're being attacked last. You know who's being attacked next, but in open field there is no such thing. In open field, you get out of position, you're dead. But if you're a QSH or a Sun Tzu, you can still generate good reports, even when you're out of position, even when you're getting swarmed, and that's what separates them from the rest. To put all Arslan in the same bread as them is honestly just delusional. Okay, it's not even like insulting; it's delusional. It's not happening. Maybe the new archer will have a lot more synergy with this dude because of the healing and stuff, but so far, if you have Philip, Yuzugi Philip, for example, or something like that, I would honestly stick with that because you're not going to be getting too much, but at least you're going to be buffing all of your other marches, and buffing is noticeable, a lot more noticeable than having like Herman to only bring more noticeable for one march. Philip does make the difference for all your marches. And that's just my spin on it. I took the bullet on this one. I said I would. It was between him and Vegeta Vercingetorix, and Vercingetorix isn't here in the game right now. My KVK still has like 2 weeks left. I won't have the chance to test Vercingetorix. Plus, I don't think I'll work on him. He's like another similar overhyped commander in my opinion. And I think it's best to wait for the new KVK story commander, and at the same time wait for the new calorie. And that's it. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.